All right, welcome everybody. We've got semi-final day. We're in Shanghai. We're in Wuhan. Ladies semi-final, Gauff versus Paolini. It's a banger. They've played 3 times this year. Paolini's won all 3 matches. And we're watching Djokovic take on the qualifier Vashiro as well. So big, big day. And then, of course, we've got Sabalenka versus Paolini. Sorry, not Paolini. Pegula later. So it's all happening. Very sad news. Nolle's retiring today. Wrong. But Megan, I think you've been doing that a lot. So you've either read something or you're just trolling. So he's definitely not retiring. But if you didn't know that, now you know. If you were just mucking around, then it's very silly. It's not very funny. How many aces do you think Djokovic is going to get this game? I have no idea. All right, 2-1. Let's say 27. Why not? Why not? All right, 2-1. By the way, that's not betting advice. That's just a prediction that... Yeah. All right, Djokovic to serve. 2-1. Vashiro holds and leads. Djokovic gets the first point of this game. 15, love. By the way, Gauff hasn't lost a set all week, which is impressive. But she also hasn't been tested yet. So what happens when she gets tested against Paolini? Then what's going to happen, right? That's what I'm worried about for her. Hey, thank you, Domini, for the 16 months as a member. Appreciate that. Thanks for sticking around. 30 love. Uh, 40 love. I'm only saying that the tennis world will miss Norway because he is a GOAT. No, you said Djokovic is going to... Very sad that Djokovic is retiring today. That's... Chat. We're going to stop this from happening. Whenever this happens, whenever one person comes in and gets my full attention because they're doing something silly, you need to remind me to focus. I don't know what we're going to do about that, but you need to remind me because I can't be just talking to one person who's pretending like they're not trying to bamboozle everybody, right? We got to figure it. You guys got to slap me out of it, you know? Like this guy asking about if I'm wearing shorts today, you got to slap me if I get baited, right? I don't know how we're going to do that, but we just got to 40-15. Because that's what they want. They want a one-on-one discussion. That's not what we're here for. Djokovic holds. Lovely serving. All right. 2-2. Norway holds. I agree, yeah. Yeah, we can't be getting one guide anymore. All right. 2-0. Plus, today's a very big day, so we've got to lock in. These matches are very important. We've got to lock in. All right, slice from Djokovic into the forehand of Vashiro, and Vashiro hits a winner. 15 love. How hot is it in Shanghai? Apparently it's really warm. Somebody said it was 40, but I don't know if it's 40 Celsius. All right, 15 love. As with a backhand slice, Nole. Into the forehand of Vashiro. Slice from Djokovic. Again, the backhand of Vashiro. Vashiro winner down the line. Nice backhand winner. 30 love. It's not 40. Somebody said 40 during the day. Maybe it's cooled down now. 31 it is? Okay. Yeah, they would have had the roof. By the way, apparently... And I didn't know this. The Grand Slams have heat rule. We knew that, right? Because Australian Open mainly. But apparently the ATP and WTA don't have a heat rule. Or don't have... Maybe the ATP don't. The WTA might. But they don't really have a heat rule in place universally around every tournament. Every tournament sort of does their own thing. But I think they're going to change those rules now, which is a good idea because there should be a general rule where, okay, if it gets to this temperature, it doesn't matter what country, what city, you know, it gets hot everywhere, right? I mean, don't you guys know Fahrenheit? Bro, you're the only one who uses Fahrenheit. Everybody else in the world uses Celsius. So you need to get on our level. 30-15. As that goes out by Djokovic on the return, 40-15. All right, Coco and Paolini walking out on court now. 40-15. By the way, Chad, I just said let's not get one guide, and then all these one guys are coming out of nowhere, being like, hey, I'm going to challenge that. I'm just going to start ignoring people, right? I know it's Friday or Saturday. You're not getting attention from people at home, but I'm not giving you attention either. 40-15. As that goes out by Vashiro. 40-30. $40-30. WTA has a heat rule. It's 35 degrees for the ladies. Don't play. It's above 35. Okay. But the ATP don't have that, do they? I don't think the ATP have a rule. 40-30. As a return from Djokovic goes to forehand of Vashiro. Djokovic forehand again. The forehand of Vashiro. To the backhand of Djokovic. Cross court into the backhand of Vashiro. They go backhand to backhand. As Djokovic mixes up with a slice. Another backhand slice from Djokovic. Drop shot. Vashiro gets it, but hits it in the net. We get the deuce. We get to deuce. All right, deuce. All right, Paolini and Gauff are on the court. All right, deuce. All right, deuce. There's a bit of serve to the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand now from Vashiro. And then Djokovic slicing the net. It's advantage Vashiro. Advantage Vashiro. Advantage Vashiro to take the lead again. Paolini and Gauff getting photos taken before their semi-final clash. God, Chad, I don't know about you, but like this week in Wuhan, at least the last couple of days, and today included, it's felt like we're watching the WTA finals already. Like we had Sabalenka, Raducanu, we had Swiatek, Paolini, right? It feels like we're watching the WTA finals already. Like it just feels like that. The next time we're going to see a lot of these players is the WTA finals. Like some of these players aren't playing for the next 3 weeks, so it's the last time we're going to see. Well, we're not going to see Swiatek until Riyadh. Pegula after this week and Sabalenka are both going to, and same with Gauff, they're not playing until Riyadh. And then Paolini, she has to play next week to try and qualify. But a lot of these players we're not going to see until the WTA finals. So, yeah, it's been a really good preview for the WTA finals for sure. And then, of course, last week with Anisimova, watching her play Gauff, I mean, that could be something we see in Riyadh as well, right? They're both qualified. So, yeah, it's been, I loved it. I love this. It's so good. We're getting a lot of like little preview matches to what's going to happen in what we might see in the WTA finals in a few weeks. WTA finals, by the way, starts in 3 weeks. So after the Paris indoors for the men, we got the WTA finals. 3-2. Vashiro leads. Paolini and Gauff are just warming up. And then we will commence. 3 versus 7. And Paolini trying to get into the WTA finals, really. I mean, if she wins this tournament, it'll go a long way. But now that Raducanu's gone, every win that Paolini has is going to get her further and work further away from Raducanu and make it harder for Raducanu to try and qualify. Because remember, it was between those two going into this tournament who was going to be number 8 in the world. But by the way, Keys is a question mark, so we don't know what Keys is going to be like at the WTA finals. So even if you finish 9, you might still get in. But really, it was between these two to get into the top 8. And Paolini now has a great opportunity to, extend the lead. If she can win today, get to the final, she'll probably put like a couple hundred points between her and Raducanu, which will go a long way. All right, 3-2 Vashiro. All right. 3-2 is a head-to-head between Gauff and Paolini. Paolini's won the last 3. They did play in Cincinnati as well, which was a 3-setter. All right, 15 love. And there's a bit of fault second serve. By the way, chat, is the lady they keep on showing in the crowd or in the coach's box like someone like a royal member in Monaco or something? Am I guessing because they keep showing her, and unless it's Vashiro's wife, I feel like she looks too like fancy to be like part of the coach's box. She seems like almost royal. Is she like the princess of Monaco or something? Like, am I? Or is it just his part? Is this his Vashiro's partner? Because they keep showing her like she's somebody that we should all know who she is. It's like why would they been showing her like once every couple of points? The blonde lady is his wife. Okay, so the brunette lady must be someone important because they keep showing her. So his wife is the blonde lady. She's sitting next to her, but who is the? It's got to be someone like somebody. I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna find out who it is. I think it's Princess Stephanie of Monaco. The youngest of, I think it's her. Is this who she is? Is this her? I'm going to have to double check. I think it's, no, can't be. Maybe is it not? No, it's not. We're going to figure it out, chap. We're going to figure it out. 40-15. I think she's the tournament director in Monaco. Maybe she could be the tournament director. What, of like the Monte Carlo Masters? No, it's this lady. No. Is it? They need to show her back on the screen. I think it's this lady. She is definitely, I think she's part of the royal family. It's this lady here, right? Is it? Maybe? It's somebody royal, I can tell you. I think is it Princess Caroline? No. Maybe? Maybe? No. It must be, maybe it's, I don't know. I've got like a whole royal family tree going on my screen. It's somebody, chat. I'll tell you, she is somebody that is very famous for some reason. We don't know we don't know why or what, but she is somebody. I think she's the head of the tennis federation, but she could also be a royal, right? I mean, the head isn't the head of the All England Club the Princess of Wales? Isn't that the thing? Isn't that a thing? Djokovic stretching his legs, by the way, 3-3. It could be the same thing. You could be a royal fan. You could be a princess of Monaco, but also run the Monte Carlo Masters. It's her sister Stephanie. It's Stefan. Okay, hang on. It's Princess Stephanie? I reckon it's... Hang on. Monaco... What am I doing? Monaco tennis director. The director of the Monte Carlo Masters is his name's David. So that's definitely... I don't think it's the same person. I don't think so. Hang on. Is this lady? Who's this lady? Is this the lady? Who's this lady? Who's this lady? They got to show her on the screen again. Anyways, Gauff, 40 love. I'm going to go Paolini in 3. Djokovic is stretching out his legs big time. 15 love, Vashiro. Who's this lady? Melanie Antoinette Damasi. Who is... Is that who it is? Chat, we're going to get to the bottom of this. It'd be so much easier if somebody just told us. Can somebody just tell me who the hell it is? But anyway, who is it, Chad? Djokovic falls down, by the way, 30 love. Vashiro trying to stay in front. Also, Gauff wins the first game, 1 love. Hey, Deb, what's going on? All right, Djokovic, just kind of slipped. It was a strange movement from Nole. Nole, again, I think Djokovic just broke the camera. He's stretching out his hips. The stretch that he's doing is, I think it's to open, like to help his hip. So I think Djokovic is feeling it in the hips. Because the way that he's stretching, that's definitely a hip stretch. He keeps kicking his leg out too, so he's definitely feeling some discomfort in the leg, left leg. As Vashiro serves, a fault, second serve. Chad, I'm not a doctor. But also, I think it might be the hip. Hip flexor, yeah. All right, Vashiro, forehand winner, 40 love. $40 love. $40 love. All right, so I think the lady is... So is she the president of the... I can't say that word. That's a long word. I can't read. I think it's the president of the Monegasque Tennis Federation, which is just the Monte Carlo Masters, right? But is she a part of the royal family? I don't know. She's standing next to Prince Albert II in this photo that I'm seeing. As the trainer comes out for Nole. Yeah, he's pointing at his hip. Is she part of... I don't know. I think we might have half an answer. All right. Anyways, back to Nole. He's got his shoulder strapped as Paolini holds 1-1. All right, so what are they gonna? They're gonna give him some painkillers, I think, or some pain medication. But yeah, he's definitely got a hip issue, and he's gonna get a medical timeout. So yeah, left hip seems to be the issue, which is not good. So left hip issue for Nole. And the trainers are asking... Djokovic's trainer is asking the trainer what's going on with the medication. Because I think what Djokovic asked was... He wants to take one painkiller now and one later. Because I think usually they give 2. So they don't want to give... He doesn't want to have both now and then it wears off. I think they're asking whether on... And again, I'm just totally guessing because he went like this or this. I think that Djokovic was asking, can I take one now and then one later? Or can I take 2 now and then 2 later? Because there's a whole thing about taking too many pills, like, you know. But he's taken 2 tablets, so... And that would be to help with the pain. But yeah, he's got like a hip issue. Does Djokovic. Why don't I know Mark Djokovic is retired? No, that was medical timeout. He's not retired. It was a medical timeout. But I turned it off because it's confusing, clearly. 30-15, by the way, Coco. She's trying to stay in front, but Djokovic has a hip / left leg issue. 30-15 here. He's got a 4-4 rally. And Gauff hits it long, and it's 30-all. Paolini a chance to break. Hey, Joanne, thank you for the 20 months. Appreciate it. All right. They're just stretching out his leg. But Djokovic he's got tape on his shoulder, his right shoulder. He's got tape on his left inside of his left leg, and now he's getting treatment on the outside of his left leg. So he's just having so much. I mean, look, this is what happens when you don't play that much. I mean, when you come out here, you're gonna be sore, right? Plus, it's been a very physical week. Everybody's been in pain. All right, Coco, 40-30 to stay in front early in this match. We've got a backhand to the forehand of Paolini. Forehand from Gauff. Into the backhand of Paolini as Gauff with the forehand down the line. Paolini slice, goes in the net. Gauff 2-1. All right. Djokovic just got 30 more seconds of treatment, and then we'll get back on the court. They're just loosening up his legs. But he's been stretching his hip for the last probably 2-3 games, I think. All right. Djokovic ready to go again. And he's going to serve too. Now he's stretching out his leg. He's definitely stretching out that hip. All right. Is there a limit to how many medical timeouts you can have without retiring? So the rule is you can only have one medical timeout per injury. So if he gets a new injury, let's say he rolls his ankle, then you can have another medical timeout. You can have as many as you have injuries, right? But he can also, at the change of ends between the games, let's say, is it 90 seconds or 60 seconds? Either way. At the change of ends, he could also get, a massage. That's allowed. Doesn't count as a medical timeout. But he's allowed to get, assistance at the change of ends. I don't know how many times. I think there might be a limit to that too, though. I don't think you can have that every change of ends because that would be ridiculous, right? But yeah, one injury, one medical timeout per injury. But look, if you got 5 injuries, you're probably better off retiring anyway. If you've got 5 different injuries, that's pretty brutal. All right. 4-3 as Djokovic at the backhand long. That's love 15. And Nole is hobbling around. I tell you this, and chat, I'm sorry to the fans of his, but he kind of looks like Andy Murray. How Andy Murray finished his career, he's walking around like Andy Murray. So it's a hip thing. He's definitely doing that weird Andy Murray sort of walk. When we're watching Andy last couple of years, how he. And Djokovic can't even hit backhands because it's affecting his leg. And now Nole's slapping the ball. I think Djokovic's going to retire because he has slapped the ball into the side and he is pissed off and he knows that he's going to have to, he's probably not going to finish his match. The way he just slapped the ball into the back of the court, you can tell he's pissed off and he probably thinks, I can't do anything about this. Now we've got a fault second serve. Second serve. Serving to the forehand of Vashiro. Great return. Djokovic slices it back. There's Vashiro backhand to the slice of Djokovic. There's Vashiro with a forehand. Again to the backhand of Djokovic. The backhand of Vashiro. Djokovic to the forehand cross court. Vashiro gets it. Djokovic forehand again. Goes down the middle. Vashiro backhand cross court. Djokovic slices it back. As Vashiro backhand again, in the net. All right, 15-30. And Nole hands on knees. All right, the crowd's trying to give him some support. Paolini, by the way, levels 2-0 first set. But yeah, Novak is in a bad way. 15-30. And if you're wondering what's wrong with him, he's got a bad hip. Seems like his hip is the problem. And then he's picked it up in this match because we haven't seen this problem the last couple of matches. We've seen him be sick. We've seen him have an ankle injury, but this like an ankle problem. But this is today. Or it might have been, maybe it was in practice. But it's definitely a new from the last time it's happened between the Bergs match and this match, right? As with a backhand rally. Slice from Djokovic into the forehand of Vashiro. As Djokovic forehand to the backhand of Vashiro. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand. Down the line's a winner. Too good. 15-40. And Nole's got hands on knees. I don't think he's going to finish it, chat. And still Djokovic might not be over. If this was a Grand Slam, I'd agree. But I don't think he's going to play on. At a Grand Slam, I'd say 100%. 100% he would play. He would try and play, but not on a 1,000. 15-40. Djokovic says a fault. He doesn't look good. He's like hobbling. Is Harry Potter real now, Cam? Yeah, bro, you didn't even listen to what I said. I said, Djokovic ain't losing this match unless something happens. And something's happened. So, all right, brother. Harry Potter's still not real. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. As with a forehand from Djokovic. Into the forehand of Vashiro. Forehand from Djokovic. Again to the forehand of Vashiro. As Djokovic forehand again. Into the backhand of Vashiro. Djokovic backhand slice. Vashiro hits a forehand cross court. Djokovic gets it back. Vashiro backhand cross court. As we have a slice from Nole. Again to the forehand of Vashiro. As Djokovic backhand in the net. And Nole does not look good. 5-3. There's the break. Djokovic is struggling. Now, the rest of the year, Djokovic is playing the Six King Slam next week at this stage. He'll play it. I'm sure he'll play it. And then he's playing in Greece. He hasn't committed to the ATP finals. He said he doesn't know if he's going to play them. He hasn't officially retired from that, but he hasn't committed to it either. And then he is going to play Greece at the end of the year, which is the week before the ATP finals. So he's only got really 2 tournaments left for the year. And that's if he plays the Six King Slam, which I'm sure he will, because it's like literally 1 match or 2 matches, right? 2 exhibitions. Like, he'll show up. But the Greece tournament is the only one. Before him, he wasn't even supposed to play this week, right? He wasn't going to play Shanghai. It was going to be US Open, Greece, the end. Djokovic return goes off the tape. Vashiro forehand. Djokovic passing shot goes wide. 30 love. Yeah, Nole doesn't look like he's going to... like the way he's hitting the ball, he's just like... I mean, maybe he's trying to throw this set out, and he's just like, let's start again the next set, but... yeah, he does not look in a good way at all. All right, 30 love. Thirty love. There's a return from Djokovic in the net. 40 love. Gauff stays up 3-2, by the way. $40 love. And an ace to finish the set. All right, 6-3 Vashiro. And Novak is having the trainer come out for the changeover. All right. Trainer on court again for Djokovic just to keep him, try and keep his leg, or try and, at this stage, I think, trying to produce a miracle. 6 King Slammers next week. All right, 3-2 Gauff. No, we're not watching Medvedev. I don't wish for Novak to become like those boxing champions who refuse to retire, even if accomplishing so much for the sake of breaking one more record and getting KO'd by new guy. Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think Djokovic is a long way away from it being hard to watch and sad to watch him, because look what he's done this year, right? Even though he hasn't won a slam, he still made the semis of every slam. He still won some big matches. He beat Fritz. He beat Zverev. He beat Alcaraz. You know, there's been a lot of big moments for Djokovic this year. Yeah, he's had a lot more injuries than usual, but I don't think it's the same as not yet. Hopefully, it doesn't get to that point. But I think he's still a long way away from, still a fair way away from like losing to players he shouldn't, and it's just like watching him go on like a 10-match losing streak to retire. I don't think he's at that point. I still think he's, this is just another injury, but. Who cares, Cam? That was rude. Do you think Novak will quit this match? Will you keep writing that? Yes. All right. Let's see if he starts off stronger in the second, Djokovic. I think if he gets broken, he will think about it. All right, 15:30, by the way. Coco with a chance to take a break point here. By the way, Paolini yesterday was unbreakable against Swiatek. All right, Nole to serve. As Vashiro hits a backhand winner. It's love 15. Love 15. Serve again. And the return goes out. $15-0 as Gauff loses the first point. 30-40, second break point. As Novak serves the backhand of Vashiro. Return goes to forehand to Djokovic. Vashiro backhand on the stretch. Djokovic backhand down the line. Vashiro gets it with a forehand. There's Djokovic forehand again. The forehand of Vashiro. Into the slice of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand down the line. Djokovic with a forehand open court. Vashiro gets it, but hits it in the net. 30-15. 30-15. Also, Gauff gets the break. 4-2. Coco breaks. 30-15 as Djokovic has another fault. Second serve. Great hitting from Gauff. But I tell you what, chat. Gauff this week has been so good. She has been so good this week. 4-2 Coco. As it back in, Djokovic goes long. 30-all. 30-all. She hasn't exactly been tested, though. Okay. 40-30, good serve by Nole. All right. $40-30. It's always somebody in the chat. Coco's look great. Yeah, but she hasn't played anybody. Okay. And why is she up 4-2 against the world number 7, who just took out Swiatek? Hello? 40-30. Djokovic looking to stay up in the second. Also, Sigmund is a pain in the ass. I mean, that was a good win. I thought that match would go 3 sets for sure. Coco made it look easy. 4-4 rally. Vashiro down the line of the backhand of Djokovic. As it backhand down the line of the forehand of Vashiro. Into the forehand of Djokovic. And Djokovic in the net. We get to deuce. Deuce. It's pretty chill over here, Deb. Not much going on. Everyone's just chilling. All right. Deuce. First game of the second. Djokovic. Good serve. Return from Vashiro is good. And then the forehand down the line's a winner by Vashiro. Nola's got hands on knees. And he's looking at the coaches. And he's talking to the coaches. And then his trainer is responding. They're talking. They're having a big conversation. All right, advantage Vashiro. Hey, Tamalama, thank you for joining us. From New Zealand. What's up? I love New Zealand. All right, Djokovic to the fault. Second serve. Second serve, Norway. Great second serve. Jeez, that was a huge second serve. Now back to deuce. 30 all to Gauff, by the way. As Gauff hits a backhand. Into the backhand of Paolini. Gauff with the volley. Paolini pass. Too good. 30-40. Paolini to get back on serve. Juice for Djokovic as he serves into the forehand of Vashiro, but it's a let. As Gauff hits a wide, Paolini's back on serve, 4-3. All right, backhand Vashiro to the backhand of Djokovic, and Djokovic hits a wide. It nearly fell over as well. And Norway's backhand is really... His hip is getting really tested by that. I told you jinxed him with your comments. He is not going to lose. Obviously, he is losing. Jinxed him now. Bro, you're living in a fantasy world. Talking about jinxes and witches and magic. Bro, you're living in fantasy. I don't know where you... Hogwarts ain't real. Advantage Vashiro. As the backhand return goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Into the forehand of Vashiro. To the backhand of Djokovic is Vashiro backhand. Again to the backhand of Djokovic is Vashiro backhand again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Vashiro with a forehand open court. Nola's going to get there. Put up a lob. It goes in. Vashiro with a forehand. Is Djokovic with the backhand on the stretch. Vashiro forehand again. As Djokovic backhand goes in the backhand of Vashiro. And Vashiro hits it wide. Nola falling to the ground after that rally. That tested him. Back to deuce. That was brutal. And the crowd appreciate the effort, but God, Nola's putting everything into this. Well, he put everything in that last point. It's brutal. All right, deuce. Serve again. Into the forehand of Vashiro. Return goes out. Advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic to get the first game of the second. Djokovic serves. The backhand of Vashiro. Djokovic backhand to the forehand of Vashiro. As Djokovic backhand cross court. Vashiro gets on the stretch. Djokovic slice. Drop shot. Vashiro with a pass. Djokovic with a volley. Oh, it's in the net though. He played a good point, Nole, but just missed the final shot. Deuce. Also love 30 for Coco. As Gauff hits it wide, and it's 15-30. As with a forehand rally, Vashiro into the backhand of Djokovic. Vashiro with a forehand again to the backhand of Djokovic. Into the forehand of Vashiro. Vashiro hits it wide, advantage Djokovic. I'll tell you this though. Vashiro, I mean, he doesn't really look that nervous. Maybe the first game he looked a little nervous, but he is playing a very smart game, but he also probably knows that he may be only one break away from the final. Like, he might only have to break Djokovic one time, and then that's it. You get to the final, right? He might not even have to play this entire set. Djokovic, because Djokovic is putting everything into this game, this one game. Like, he's doing, like, Nole's putting it, like, he's working his ass off for this first game. So Vashiro, I think he knows, like, I could just break this guy once and that might be enough. And then he might let me play the final, right? I mean, he might retire. All right, break point for Coco, 30-40. Djokovic advantage, because Nole's putting a lot of effort into this first game. There's a bit of forehand now to the slice of Vashiro. Djokovic forehand again. And that's too good. All right, Nole holds. 1-love in the second. It was a long game too. It was a long, long game. All right. Djokovic leads the second. 1-love. Paolini survives, by the way. At the moment, she's a deuce. All right, let's see how Vashiro serves. As with a serve from Paolini, there's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Gauff. Backhand from Paolini as Gauff backhand. Again, the backhand of Paolini to the forehand of Gauff as Paolini runs around a backhand. Hits a forehand to the backhand of Gauff. Again to the backhand now of Paolini. Down the line of the forehand of Gauff as Paolini backhand again. Goes long and Gauff gets another break point. Advantage Coco. As Djokovic return goes wide. 15-love. And Nole just missed that return. 15-love. As a return from Djokovic goes in the backhand of Vashiro, and Vashiro hits it wide. 15-all. Advantage Coco. As a return from Gauff goes the backhand of Paolini. Gauff backhand. Again, the backhand of Paolini. To the backhand of Gauff. It's Paolini forehand cross court. Gauff down the line. Goes to the backhand of Paolini as Gauff forehand cross court. Paolini gets it. Again to the forehand of Gauff. And Gauff hits a winner. There's the break. 5-3 Coco. 5-3. She's going to serve for the set. All right. 30-15 Vashiro. By the way, chat, I know, like, you know, you can watch whatever you want to watch, but why are people celebrating Djokovic's injuries? It's weird. That's weird. That's weird. Like, people are here to, like, I feel like celebrating, like, and you know, and like going, oh well, time to retire. Like, it's just like, it's like going to someone's funeral and having a laugh. Like, it's like, what are you doing? You're not invited. Like, you know what I mean? It's weird. It's weird to see people going, like, celebrating Djokovic. Like, oh well, he had a good time though, but he should probably leave. You're like, no, let him do whatever he wants. Leave him alone. Celebrating injuries is just, yeah, it's crazy. Like, relax. It is weird, yeah. All right. Now, Deb, you were always respectful. But I'm looking at the chat and people coming in here and being like, Novak needs to stop playing tennis forever. And you're like, why? Because he has a hip injury today? Okay. I'll tell you this, his fans aren't saying it. So I know the people that are saying, oh, man, he should retire, are not saying it because they're sad to see Djokovic injured. It's people that aren't his fans are like, yeah, he should just get out of this game. He's, it's obviously people that don't like him that are wanting him to stop because his fans want him to play forever. Vashiro holds 1-1. Coco, by the way, love 40. She serves for the set. Paolini to get back on serve again. People are losing money on Djokovic. That's probably what it is. That's the main thing, right? It's definitely the betting. It's more the betting, isn't it? But I tell you this, Chad. If you bet on Djokovic today and you've been watching him all week, why would you have bet on him? He's had an ankle problem. He's been sick all week, been vomiting on court. I mean, why would you? Even if it's Novak, I get it. He's the greatest of all time. But why would you even risk that if he had any sort of problem? Why would you even risk that? It's like betting. Same with Medvedev, right? Why would you do that? Because he's been cramping all week. He might not cramp, but it's like, why would you do that? Why would you risk it? And then complain about it. All right. Paolini breaks back, by the way. Like, just don't even... I wouldn't... Like, this week in Shanghai, you should have just not even participated. Just watch Wuhan. Like, you should have just... I feel like... I feel like everything in Shanghai has just gone wrong this week, so it would have just been like, Don't watch... Don't... Just watch Shanghai. Don't do anything else. 30 love. As Djokovic does the fault second serve. Second serve. Serve is a double fault. 30-15. Paolini back on serve. I'll tell you, chat. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you anything. I want you to tell me. Do you think it's good if Rinderknecht versus Vashiro is the final of Shanghai? Do you think that's good or bad for the sport? I want to hear what you guys say. I'm sick of hearing what I have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. Do you think that's good or bad, or does it matter? 30-15. There's Djokovic backhand. And if you think it's good, tell me why. Like, what's good about it? It's amazing for the sport? Okay. 1 hour played, by the way. 30. Oh, Djokovic trying to stay in front. It's bad for the sport, even though they're cousins. People might like that. I mean, that's kind of just a novelty. It's good, gives others a chance to shine. Always nice to see cousins play in the final. Yeah, it happens never. Like, taking the cousins' novelty aside, like saying, oh, it's great, because if they weren't cousins, would it be good then, or would it be bad? If the only reason you think it's good is because they're cousins, put that aside. If they're not cousins, is it good or bad? 40-30. We need at least Medvedev or Nolly in the final. I don't see why it'd be particularly good or bad. 15-all, by the way. Coco has been up a break twice in this match, or in the set. Paolini just can't seem to level, though, when she gets the break back. 15-30. Coco looking to get the break and win the set. Wholesome cousin story aside, it's bad as it reflects poorly on the top-ranked players. All right. Djokovic holds 2-1. Just keeps trucking on, Nole. 15-30. And sort of backhand rally. Coco looking to get this set. She hits a slice in the net. It's 30-all. All right. Trainers out on court again for Nole. Are they going to... They should just permanently leave a towel on the ground for him. You don't like the story of someone who wasn't even supposed to be in the qualies and life-changing event. How can you not love that story? Because I'm a Grinch. Nole retires? Sure, okay. Trainer Sim's been more time on court than Djokovic. That's just savage. Anyways, Gauff's got a set point, 30-40. As a return goes into the forehand of Paolini, into the forehand of Gauff. Paolini backhand. Goes wide. Gauff wins a set. Paolini get the break back, but she just couldn't level. And Coco takes a set anyway. If you don't like this, then why did you like Raducanu Fernandez final at the US Open? I mean, that was totally different. It's a Grand Slam. If this happened at a Grand Slam, if Vashiro took on Rinderknecht in a US Open final, that would be a totally different situation. The fact that Raducanu... By the way, Raducanu Fernandez also, being from the UK, that definitely had a whole country behind her. Blew up in that respect as well. But that's a different... you can't say Shanghai and the US Open it's the same thing. I think it's good. I think it's good and bad. It's good for those players, but I don't think because the thing is, this is how it's kind of like if you remember back in 2020 when Carreño Busta was in the semifinals of US Open. If he had won that US Open, it would have been great for him. It would have been a hell of a story, but it wouldn't have been great for the sport because I wanted at that time, and unfortunately, the team didn't play anymore after that, or didn't get to that level again after that. But I think we all wanted, if we're going to get a new champion, we wanted it to be somebody who was going to be a factor for many years to come, right? Is Vashiro or Rinderknecht going to be in the same conversation as Alcaraz, Sinner, Zverev, Fritz? Are they going to be that guy as well now? Are they going to be part of that? Or is it going to be like a Norrie beating Basilashvili in Indian Wells? And we're like, oh, Norrie, even though Norrie did make the semifinals of Wimbledon and played really well there, is it going to be one of those like blips where we're like, oh, remember that final that was really random? Yeah, anyways. Is it just going to be a blip? Because I'd rather see somebody, if it's going to be a new champion, I'd rather see it be somebody who's going to be a factor in the future, not just like, oh, that was a great week for both of them, and then we moved on, right? We got over it because we never saw them again, right? They never got to the 1,000 final again. Vashiro is 26, so he's not young, but he's not old. So maybe this is the start of him, right? Maybe this is the start that he needed. Now he's going to be top 20, right? And he's going to be a factor. He's going to make a semifinal next year of a 1,000, or maybe make a fourth round of run at a slam and play one of those big dogs, right? Rinderknecht is 30. Is he going to make another? Is he if he wins the tournament? Is he going to be somebody that's going to be in that conversation next time we watch the 1,000? Maybe in Paris. Maybe in Paris these guys do something. I don't know, but you know what I mean. It would have been, I think, having a 20-year-old quali go on a run, or a 20-year-old unseeded play go on a run. Djokovic, by the way, is not out of this because love 30. He's about to break. I don't know. That's where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if it's good or if it's bad. It's great at the time, but is it good? Is it going to be good in the are we going to remember this in 6 months? Yeah, Tien making the final or winning the title would have been that's a good example. Yeah, if it was Tien, for example, that would have been oh, that's impressive. We know he's going to be somebody in a factor, right? He's not just going to disappear, right? We don't know if Rinderknecht is at the start of his post-30 career and he's going to be like this top 10 guy in like 6 months. Or is Vashiro going to be a top 10 guy or top 20 guy in 6 months? Well, I don't know. Yeah, like Menchik winning Miami, that was good for the sport because we know he's going to be a factor, right? Or at least we believe that Menchik has got so many years. He's 19. He's got so much time that he is going to be maybe the start of something that Grand Slam champion, right? So I don't know. Again, great to see a qualifier have a run. Great story. What it does, but the bigger picture does it actually mean anything? Is Vashiro now going to use this confidence and start beating top 10 guys at other events, or has he just had a really good week? You know what I mean? 30-0. Rinderknecht, by the way, has had some good wins at slams. He's played some 5-set epics, and remember he beat Mev. Did he beat? No, that was Bonzi. Didn't he? He beat Zverev at the US Open, right? Or Wimbledon? One of them. 30-0, by the way. Wimbledon. It was Wimbledon. Drop shot from Vashiro. Djokovic gets it back, and then Vashiro hits it down the line for a winner. And holy spam. That guy is... All right. Paolini breaks, by the way. 1-love. In the second, she gets the lead, finally. Rinderknecht beats Zverev. Yeah. Rinderknecht has been a tough, annoying opponent for a lot of players, right? I don't know. That's where I am. Like, I get the whole, it's a great story, but I'm also like, but are we going to care in 6 months? Unless Vashiro winning the tournament, at 26 years old, it might be his, the start of something. I don't know if Rinderknecht winning the tournament is going to feel like the start of something. I don't know. I don't think so. But Vashiro, maybe. If he won the tournament, maybe we would see him again. He wouldn't just disappear. He wouldn't just hover around number 50 in the world. And I think Vashiro winning would be better if we didn't get Djokovic and Medvedev, right? Remember this for a long time, to be honest? I don't think so. Most people aren't watching Shanghai. Most people don't care about Shanghai. I can tell you, we've been watching Shanghai for a long time. Most people check out. Most people don't give a shit about this tournament, unfortunately, and the Asian swing in general. They check out and they come back, when we go back to Europe. Most people don't care about this tournament. I mean, I could ask you, Chad, who's been the last 5 champions of this tournament? Without Googling it, because I know somebody's Googling it, I'm sure you're cheating. I feel like Menchik winning, much more memorable because he beats Djokovic in the final, but also he's 19 years old and he's just getting started. It was his breakout. Whereas, again, long way away because we've still got Djokovic and Medvedev alive in this tournament. They're not done yet, but I don't know. I don't know. All right. 30-15, by the way, Paolini. Djokovic 30-love. Serving to the back end of Vashiro. Djokovic slice. Goes wide. 30-15. Now, here's another question. If Djokovic has a hip injury and he comes back and wins this match, is that good? Because he might not play the final. I know I'm saying he might not. He probably will because he's Novak Djokovic and he's won Grand Slams on one leg. But do we want to see an injured Djokovic in the final? Or do we want to see a healthy Vashiro in the final? I'm talking to the Djokovic fans. I mean, that's going to be obvious answer, right? But for the neutral fans out there, is it better to have an injured guy in the final? the greatest player of all time? Or do we want to have a healthy qualifier tomorrow? The final's tomorrow, by the way. As it back in a backhand rally. Vashiro into the forehand of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand. Into the net. 40-15. I tell you, Nole's just staying in front. That's all he's doing. Paolini, by the way, she's trying to get to 2-love. Medvedev would be a nightmare to play with limited movement and stamina. True. All right. Paolini gets a deuce. Man, she just can't consolidate these breaks as Djokovic serves an ace. Okay. Here we go. 3-2 Djokovic. By the way, Chad, Shanghai hasn't been around that long. It's pretty new tournament, right? It started in 2009. It's been around for 14 editions, which is one of the youngest. That doesn't sound like the right term. One of the I don't know. It's one of the newest 1,000 events. And it's only been won by guys who have been in the top 10. Davydenko won the first one in 2009. Then it was Murray twice, then Djokovic twice, then Federer, then Djokovic, then Murray, then Federer, then Djokovic, then Medvedev, Hurkacz, and Sinner. So to have somebody who's, I mean, again, if you win this tournament, you're going to be top 10. or you've been in the top 10 like Medvedev, right? So people don't win this tournament that aren't like, a factor. By the way, I think the lowest ranked player, I'm going to guess if it's going to be between Vashiro and Rinderknecht, they would probably be the lowest ranked players to win this tournament. Unless Davydenko, but Davydenko was top 10 around that time, right? Let me look. So Davydenko in 2009 was the 6th seed. 2014 Roger was 3. Murray 2011 was 2. Murray 2010 was 4. Medvedev 2019 was 3. Hurkacz. So Hubie Hurkacz is the lowest ranked player to win this tournament, 16 seed at the time. So no unseeded player has won this tournament. Unless Djokovic 2018, but he was number 2. Murray 2016. Yeah, so Federer 2017? No, he was 2. Murray was 2. All right. Yeah, so if Vashiro or Rinderknecht won this tournament, they would be the lowest ranked player to ever win this tournament. Because no one outside the top 20 has won this tournament. And again, it's only been around 14 years, but it's only been won by guys who have been in the top 10 or in the top 20. Again, Hurkacz, the only guy outside the top 10 to win this tournament ever. All right, by the way, Gauff breaks back. It's 15-0 at 1-1. Paolini with a lovely volley winner, 15-30. Djokovic backhand to backhand with Vashiro. And to a backhand now from Djokovic to the backhand of Vashiro on the stretch. Vashiro in the net. Anyone ranked lower than Vashiro to win a Masters? Yeah, apparently somebody who was 500 in the world won Indian Wells back in the 90s. So he would be the second lowest ranked player to win a 1,000 since 1990, since the ATP was formed. I think that's what I read. But a guy in 1999 won Indian Wells and he was like 500 in the world. All right. Paolini, by the way, 15-40 to get the break again. Has anybody held serve in the last 20 minutes? I don't think so. Djokovic forehand into the forehand of Vashiro. And Djokovic forehand again, the forehand of Vashiro. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Vashiro forehand goes wide. 15-30. Another little chance for Nole here. $15-30. Also, Paolini 30-40. A chance for her to get the break. Djokovic, though, seems to be doing a little better. Physically, he doesn't look as sore. So maybe those meds kicked in. Gauff double faults and Paolini breaks. All right, 3-2. Sorry, 2-1. Not 3-2 yet. Looking at the wrong. I was looking at the Djokovic match. As Vashiro hits a lovely drop volley. 30 all. 30 all. Vashiro's won 10 out of 12 points at the net. That's wild. Good serve, Vashiro. 40-30. Oh, man. That was 8 breaks in a row. Holy moly. All right, 40-30. Vashiro to get level again. First serve is a fault, second serve. Serve to the forehand of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand down the line. Djokovic gets on the stretch, but hits in the net. And it's 3-0. I think Djokovic should stay until 5-4 and then try and break. I think that's what he's trying to do. 3-0. By the way, we've got Sabalenka Pegula coming up next. That's going to be a banger match as well. A lot of good matches today. Semi-final day. By the way, chat, I'll say this. Where the hell was Roger? Huh? I know he was there. Where was he? He wasn't watching yesterday's matches. He's not watching today's matches. He wasn't there the day before yesterday. Why is Roger not in the stands watching these players? What's he got something better to do? I'm sorry, Roger is not good enough for him? He can't make an appearance during a match? God, he goes and plays tennis. Where was he yesterday watching Demonor versus Medvedev? Why wasn't he there? Maybe he was warming up. Okay, what about today then? What, did he leave last night? Did he just disappear? Where was he? He just rocked up, played an exhibition, and ditched. See you later. His kids are there. I'm sorry, and they were watching. Yeah, so he sent the kids in. He's like, you go watch. You go represent. I'm not going to be there. Where the hell is he, though? Got better things to do than watch Novak Djokovic? Nah. Where the hell is he? I can't believe it. He rocked up just to play one match and then he just ditched. Crazy. That's crazy. How could he? Anyways, Djokovic with a lovely drop shot. That's crazy. I'll never forgive 2004. I'll never forget. 2004, I'll never forget. All right, 15-0. I don't know what Djokovic is asking. All right, Paolini's still trying to hold serve. He's got a forehand out of the backhand of Vashiro. Djokovic forehand again. The backhand of Vashiro sliced. Goes long, 30-15. $30-15. All right, 30-15. Djokovic says a fault, second serve. Djokovic 30-15, trying to stay in front. As a return goes the forehand of Djokovic. Backhand out from Vashiro. Djokovic backhand down to the forehand of Vashiro, and Vashiro in the net. 40-15. Vashiro is making a lot more errors than he was even at the start of this second set. Vashiro definitely making some errors. Also 30-all. As Gauff hits a forehand to the forehand of Paolini. Gauff with the forehand to the backhand of Paolini, but Gauff hits it out. All right, 40-30. As Djokovic forehand on the stretch, cross court, good shot. Vashiro goes down the line, slice Djokovic in the net. And it's 40-30. All right, 40-30 also for Paolini. Is Gauff backhand winner. All right, deuce. We're going to watch Sabalenka after this. All right, 40-30. Djokovic to stay in front. Serving the back of Vashiro. Return goes wide. Djokovic holds. Nole stays in front. His serve is keeping him alive as Paolini hits a backhand off the tape, but it goes in the net. Advantage Gauff to get back on serve. But is it really getting back on serve or they keep getting broken? All the breaks in a row. Djokovic, by the way, throw it. No, I thought he was throwing up. He's shoving his head in a bucket of ice. Yeah, Novak's just shoved his face into a bucket of cold water. All right, as Paolini hits it wide, and we're back on serve. 2-all. 2-all. 9 breaks in a row. Madness. 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 All right. Back to your question about if it's good for the final to have 2 qualifiers in it. I was wondering who would you pick for the final? I'd pick Djokovic Medvedev. Djokovic or Medvedev to make the final. I think we need one of them in the final. I think if it's Rinderknecht versus Vashiro final, I don't know. First of all, I don't know how many people are going to watch it. But like I said earlier, I don't think... I think we need one of Djokovic or Medvedev in the final to make it feel like a 1,000 final. Right? To give it that little bit, because both of those guys have won this tournament before. They've both won 1,000s. They're both Grand Slam champions. Not that every time we need to have a Grand Slam champion in the final. That's not a thing. But we need to have somebody who is... just 2 guys that have never been here and not even been close. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need one of them there. Even if they lose, we still need, I think, one of Djokovic or Medvedev in the final. To make it interesting. We're going to watch it anyway, but to make it interesting for the masses. At least for people to give a shit. Because I know you might be, some of you guys might be like, oh, but I love the fairy tale run and I love the cousins playing, blah, blah. Most neutral people don't give a shit about that. They're like, well, who's in the final? I don't know them. I'm not watching. I'm not spending 3 hours watching 2 guys I don't know, right? We need a Medvedev or a Djokovic there, so at least there's some interest there. Because people are going to be like, oh, Medvedev, he's back. Or Djokovic. Okay, let's see if he can win another one, right? Even if they lose in the final, I still think we need one of them in the final to make it interesting. Otherwise, again, Vashiro, Rinderknecht, I think people check out when they'll tell me when it's over. Tell me what the score is, right? People aren't going to watch that. All right. 30 love. But that's the story, Cam. Two guys who have not made the final, make it anywhere near because it's possible through the season. They were good enough at the tail end of the season. Okay. Anyway, it's 30-all. Coco trying to get in front. Trying to break this streak of breaks. Vashiro double faults, 40-15. Gauff double faults, 30-40. Six double faults for Coco. Vashiro comes to the net. Djokovic pass. Vashiro volley. Djokovic lob. Goes wide. Vashiro at the net, by the way. Very effective. 4-all. But they aren't young, up-and-coming players, so who may become top seeds in the future. Well, that's what I was saying. As Paolini breaks again. 10 breaks in a row. 3-2. 3-2. All right. I think somebody said it earlier as well, and I get where they're coming from. That if it is a Vashiro versus Rinderknecht final, it's great for them, but it is sad for the sport in a way because it meant that, like, what the hell happened to all the other... Like, we had 32 seeds in this tournament. It's a big, big tournament. How did the whole top 30 not one person in the top 30 could make the final? Like, that is not good. Like, that's scary. That if Alcaraz doesn't play and Sinner retires, nobody can step up. Like, that nobody is able to take that spot. Now, Djokovic has done well until he's gotten hurt today to try, but then is it good to have Djokovic at 38 be the guy that fills the spot when they're gone? No, because Djokovic isn't going to be here for 5 years, 10 years from now, right? At least maybe we don't think he will be. But like everybody else in the top 30, no other top 30 player can make it unless Medvedev does. But like, you know what I mean? Like, and look, we can go down the list and say, well, this guy got injured and this guy was cramping and this guy was coming back from injury and this guy did this and this guy has played a lot and this guy, blah, blah, blah. We could go down the list and make an excuse for everybody, but and have a reason for everybody. But it sucks, man. Like that, like none of the young guys could step into the spot. No Alcaraz. I mean, it reinforces how much tennis is about Sinner and Alcaraz, and without them, it's just what is it? I don't know what it is. I mean, Anyways, Djokovic serves the next 30 all. It's not over yet, though. Once the Medvedev match is done and once this match is done, then we'll see. But it's just, yeah. But when somebody said that, I read it the other, about 20 minutes ago. That, yeah, it does. 30 all. As Djokovic serving in the form of Rinderknecht. Wrong guy. Backhand. He's his cousin. Rinderknecht is cousin. Try saying that fast. 30 all. Backhand to backhand. Vashiro goes in the backhand of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand again. The backhand of Djokovic. In the backhand of Vashiro is Djokovic backhand again. Vashiro gets it back. Djokovic backhand again. There's gone backhand to backhand. Now Vashiro down the line. Djokovic forehand goes cross court. Vashiro gets it. Djokovic forehand again. As Vashiro backhand. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand again. To the slice of Djokovic. Vashiro's going to come to the net with a slice. Djokovic lob. Vashiro drop volley. Djokovic going to get it. And then Vashiro with a forehand in the net. Why did Vashiro stop playing tennis? Did he not know who he's playing? Djokovic points to his ear. He's not hurting as bad as he was. But Vashiro hit that drop volley. Dude, you got to be ready. Nobody's going to get that. Doesn't matter if he's got one leg or two. He's going to get that ball. Like, Vashiro thought he hit a good volley. He's like, yeah, against, like, 99.99% of players in the history of tennis, that was a winner. Not against Novak with one leg. That's never... Bro. And now you're just giving Djokovic a reason to win. So now he's pointing to his ear. Now he wants to play. Now, like, that point might have decided the match. If Djokovic goes on to win this, a 28-shot rally with Vashiro hitting a drop volley that he thought it was good enough, that might have just completely changed this match. Because Djokovic pointing to his ear, he wasn't doing that. In the first set, second set, he hasn't been doing that. He's been limping around, hobbling around. That might have been the point that Djokovic needed to just go, oh yeah, I can still win. 30-all, by the way, is Gauff. Hits it down the line. And it's 30-40, 10 chance to break again. Backhand Vashiro. Oh, it hit the baseline. Good return. Good return. Djokovic hands on knees. That was a good return. His ear is injured? No, that was De Minaur at the Laver Cup. 30-40, Paolini serves a fault. Second serve. We're not missing much in Wuhan. They're just getting... nobody can hold serve. It's been like this for about 45 minutes. All right, Djokovic gets the deuce. As Paolini hits it in the net, they're 3-all. 3-3. 3-3. All right, Djokovic backhand down the line. Vashiro gets it with a slice. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Vashiro forehand of the stretch. Djokovic into the backhand of Vashiro. To the backhand of Djokovic. Vashiro down the line. That's a great shot. Djokovic forehand on the stretch. Vashiro hits a winner down the line, though. Advantage Vashiro. To take the break and serve of the match. What? Huh? All right. Advantage Vashiro. To take this break and serve for the biggest win of his life. And I don't know if he'll ever be able to have a bigger win than this. You beat Novak Djokovic. I mean, maybe if you beat Alcaraz at a Grand Slam, might be Sinner at a Grand Slam final. Maybe it's like that might be better, but like this is going to be hard to beat. It's going to be hard to beat beating Djokovic at any stage. By the way, chat, Harry Potter's real, apparently. Advantage Vashiro. As Djokovic serves the fault. Second serve. Second serve. We've still got one more match after this, by the way. Double fault, Nole. Vashiro is going to serve for the match. Chat, this is really hard to analyze, right? Because we've been talking about Novak the entire time, right? How he looks, how he's played, how he's feeling. And when look like that, Vashiro, Vashiro has been good. Like, he's been really good, right? He played really well before Djokovic hurt his leg, but I mean, look, it's hard to know how good Vashiro has been because he's playing against a guy with one leg, even though Djokovic with one leg is still Djokovic. But it's like, Vashiro, I'll tell you this. Very good at the net. If he plays Medvedev, that's going to be really handy to try and beat Medvedev. But, I mean, yeah, what can you say? I mean, Vashiro's kept his nerve. He's been very calm the entire match. Doesn't matter what is going on with Djokovic, doing all those kind of, getting treatment. He's kept his cool, All right. By the way, people keep asking, where has he been, Vashiro? He played college tennis. So he up until this year, I mean, he was grinding the Challenger circuit back in 2022, 23, 24. But he hadn't played a Grand Slam qualifier until the French Open last year, when he got a wild card to the first round. But it's like his first full year on the, I guess, in the slams at least. He has had wild cards to Monte Carlo, because obviously Monte Carlo, Monaco, he's from Monaco. But yeah, he went to college at Texas A&M. 30 love, by the way. And then, 2022 was when he started. So when he was 24? 24 was when he started playing on the main tour, because he went to college. So that's why, we haven't heard of this guy from, being 18. So he really started his career 3 years ago. And now 3 years later, so let's, date that back. If you're 18, you start playing, challenges at 18. 3 years, 21, you have a breakout like this. So he's just a little bit of late bloomer, but he went to college. So the players that usually go to college don't start doing stuff until their late 20s anyway. Or mid to late 20s anyway. Because they go to college for 4 years and they don't get to play ATP until, unless they ditch college, until like 22 anyway. All right, 30-15. Gauff, by the way, with a lovely volley. Coco just held, yep. First hold in a million years. All right, backhand return from Djokovic to the forehand of Vashiro. Djokovic backhand to the backhand of Vashiro. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Vashiro backhand again. In the net, 30-all. 30-all. All 30-all. All right, first serve is a fault by Vashiro. Second serve. Second serve is a let. Got 4-3 in the second, by the way. And Djokovic returns it back into Vashiro. Vashiro hits it out, 30-40. The crowd go wild. 30-40. First break points for Djokovic in the whole set. All right, 30-40. Djokovic get back on serve. Serve to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand from Vashiro. Djokovic slice. Vashiro comes in. Hits it straight to Djokovic. And then Nole in the net. Deuce. All right, Coco hits a forehand down the line. The backhand of Paolini. Gauff backhand. Goes long and it's 15-all. All right, Novak just stretching his leg out again. He's starting to feel that leg. The meds are wearing off. All right, deuce. Vashiro serves. Into the forehand, Djokovic. Djokovic is along. Vashiro too good on the serve. Match point. Match point, Vashiro. To take his spot in the final of Shanghai. As a qualifier. This tournament has been so weird. It's been such a strange event that, of course, two cousins would play in the final. That makes sense now. Medvedev's still got to play, though. But all right, serve. Into the back of Djokovic. Vashiro forehand. Into the back of Djokovic. Down the line's a great shot. And Vashiro hesitated and hits it out wide. And it's back to deuce. I think Vashiro was just waiting for Djokovic to miss. He forgot who he was playing. 15-30, by the way. As Gauff gets a 15-40. Paolini hasn't held serve in a long time. And Gauff about to break and serve for the match to get to the final of Wuhan. Woo! How have we not made that joke this week? Anyways, deuce. Vashiro into the front of Nole. Nole hits it long. Vashiro's serve out wide is huge. All right. Match point, Vashiro. Match point to take his spot in the final. Eat your words, Cam. Djokovic not the GOAT today? Oh, okay. So an injured Djokovic, you're going to just, yeah, okay. Mods, can we just, I don't know. Match point. Vashiro serves his way to the final. Doesn't even react. Vashiro didn't even celebrate. Gauff breaks two, by the way. Vashiro didn't even celebrate. He just walked to the net. Respect for Djokovic. That's why. He's not celebrating an injured player. Respectfully, Vashiro makes the final. He knew. He's like, I'm not going to celebrate in this guy's face. He's not 100%. I'm not going to. Respectfully wins the match. Why does everyone have to get injured, chat? Why? Why does everyone have to get injured? Anyways, Gauff is serving for the match. 15-love. And now we got, in about 30 minutes, we've got Sabalenka taking on Pegula. GG's. Vashiro in the final. Novak, please retire. Why would he retire? By the way, none of the Djokovic fans are saying he should retire. So I don't know why people are saying he should retire and why you don't even like him. 15-love. Vashiro in the final. He's going to play the Medvedev or his cousin in the final. Is that back into the net by Paolini? 30-love. 30-love. So straight after this, we're watching Sabalenka versus Pegula. Hopefully, it's close to the level they played a couple of weeks ago. Gauff serves the forehand. Paolini backhand from Coco. That's Paolini backhand cross court. Good shot. Gauff with a slice. There's Paolini forehand into the forehand of Gauff. Paolini comes to the net. Gauff with a lob. Paolini with a volley. Gauff with a forehand down the line winner. 40-love Coco. Gauff with 3 match points to get to the final of Wuhan. $40-love. So does that mean your criteria of worst loss ever? I think if people bring this match up in the future and don't say that Djokovic was hurt, they'd be missing a massive part of the puzzle. Like, you would be missing a massive part of the match if you just didn't mention that Djokovic was clearly hurt. And that's not an excuse, and it shouldn't take anything away from Vashiro, but definitely Djokovic was compromised. Backhand goes down across court to the backhand of Paolini. Gauff back into the net. One save, 40-15. All right, 40-15. Match point number 2 for Coco. Very impressive by Coco. I know we haven't watched it because we're watching Djokovic and going through the motions, but I mean, yeah. What a good win for her if she can get the next point. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Paolini. Gauff with a slice. Paolini with a backhand. Into the forehand of Gauff. There's Paolini backhand again. To the backhand of Gauff. Into the forehand of Paolini. Cross court the forehand of Gauff. Gauff in the net. 40-30. 2 saved. All right. 40-30. Cam, you're innocent. You still believe he was hurt after all these years? Yeah, can I borrow your tinfoil hat? 40-30. Match point number 3. There's a bit of fault from Gauff. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Paolini. Gauff with a drop shot. Paolini gets it. Gauff with a volley. It's down the line for a winner. Coco's in the final. She hasn't lost a set all week, Coco. And she finally beat Paolini in 2025. It took her 4 times. She get 4-time lucky. She gets it done. Paolini just couldn't hold serve. Her serve just deserted her at the end. Or for pretty much the entire match. I think she held serve like 3 times. Maybe twice. But man, Coco in the final. Great week for Gauff. And she's going to play the Pegula or Sabalenka in that final. Both your predictions are off. Who gives a fuck about predictions? Nobody cares. I make predictions that are right all the time. Nobody mentions it. So, who cares? What's with this tournament? I like Gauff, but what? Gauff's been great. What are you talking about? She's made like the semi-finals and stuff for the last, she's been great. No, it was not a frosty handshake. Why would it be frosty? They're friendly. He should retire at the Australian Open. I can't watch it. Every match can't breathe. That is unacceptable. No. Why is everyone retiring Djokovic now? Coco in the final. Vashiro looks like Sinner's brother. Okay. Like actual brother, or looks like he's related to Sinner? By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Semi-finals of every slam, and he should retire. I know, right? People are crazy. Lowest ranked finalist in a 1,000 history. I thought there was a guy in the 90s that got to a 1,000 final that was 500 in the world. By the way, Zano, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? You seem to be everything I say. You want to just fight me. I don't. Are you okay? Do you need a hug? Somebody hug that guy. All right, Sabalenka Pegula. We got that coming up next. Somebody give that guy a hug. But Gauff's in the final. Vashiro's in the final. We're going to keep an eye on what's going on with Medvedev as well. And Rinderknecht, Nesh, they're playing as well. But we're going to watch Sabalenka Pegula. This is a top 5. Is it 5? Top 5 matchup? Is Pegula 5? I can't remember. Where's Pegula in the world at the moment? Top, close enough. It's almost top 5. It's a top 10 clash, which is great. We're going to find out who's going to play Coco in the final. Where are we? How the hell am I going to do this? How do I do this, chat? You think I'd know what to do after 7 years of streaming? All right, jump on over here. Just annoyed every favorite is losing. Well, don't blame me for that. Coming at me like I made them lose. Harry Potter's not real. It's a mystery. It's a story. Blaming me for your being annoyed. That's your fault. You got to sort that out yourself. Don't blame it on me. I have nothing to do with it. All right, Coco in the final. And we're going to find out who she's going to play. But Gauff wins it straight. Vashiro, by the way, almost the same scores as well, which is kind of weird. We'll keep an eye on what's going on with Djokovic as well. By the way, Big Wolf, thank you for the 36 months. Joanne, thank you for the 20 months as well. I'll see you guys soon.